Hey everybody, if you're a restaurant or hotel business, you know how crucial it is to manage costs without sacrificing quality. That's where FoodBuy, the largest GPO in the industry, comes in. With FoodBuy, you gain access to exclusive pricing, unmatched buying power, and a vast network of trusted suppliers, all designed to help you save time and money. Whether you're running a high-end hotel or a bustling restaurant, FoodBuy is your one-stop partner to streamline purchasing and get the best deals. Want to see how they're changing the game? Visit foodbuy.com today and take your supply chain to the next level. That's foodbuy.com, making smarter purchasing easier than ever. Oh yeah, baby! I'm loving the intro. I mean, look at Mary, guys smiling. I gotta get a smile like that, man. That's what happens when you live in California, baby.
Chilly out there at 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Chilly.
Yeah, I gotta tell you. All right, here we kick it off. Live from Toast Studios in New York City, it's the Hospitality Hangout Podcast with the restaurant guy and the finance guy. Toast, built for restaurants, built for you. Jimbo, we got a podcast. I gotta tell you, I'm excited.
We do have a podcast. You are well caffeinated today, my friend. Well,
And you know what the funny thing is? I didn't have any caffeine yet.
Really?
No caffeine, man. I had a sip of my delicious Pure Leaf. You know I'm addicted to this Pepsi product.
Product placement.
I mean, I got the Pure Leaf. You got the Starry. I love it. Jimbo,
All right.
formally welcome.
Yes, I want to welcome everyone more formally to the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the finance guy. I'm going to throw it back to my soon-to-be well-caffeinated partner, brother from another mother, Mr. Michael Schatzberg.
Thank you, Jimmy. You got my name wrong.
Otherwise,
35 years you think you meant my name.
I always forget the Berg. Schatzberg, affectionately known
I don't think people know my name.
Affectionately known as the restaurant guy.
Yeah, and thanks for that kind introduction. And to those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. And we are the voices. We are the personalities behind Branded Hospitality. We at the intersection of hospitality, restaurants, investment, technology.
Keep going.
Goop, everything Goop products.
Boy. You went there? Really? That's how you
I shouldn't go there?
I don't know. I thought we were going to lead into it a little bit.
We're going to lead into it. But I'm so excited about this. But Jimmy, before we get to this great guest, I got to do one shameless little bit of a plug here. Yeah. Toast. Built for restaurants, built for you. ToastTab.com. Jimbo, I gotta tell you, they got 120,000 restaurants right now. I'm counting. I think this is actually wrong. I looked at their last S1 that just came out. It's 150,000 restaurants, by the way. They had a killer quarter over there at Toast.
Way to go, Toast.
They're doing things okay. They're focused on not just SMB, Jimbo. Enterprise too. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
You're damn right. And I gotta tell you, it's a POS. You know what? It's from POS to payroll. They take care of it all. You know that. We have Toast.
We have Toast.
I gotta say, they got to pay at the table.
Yes.
They got the, it's so easy. You know what I found out?
What'd you find?
By using Toast? My managers, my staff, front of house, everyone loves Toast. So I gotta tell you, Jimbo, if you're a restaurant out there looking for a new POS, I highly recommend you go to ToastTab.com.
All right.
And say, I want Toast. Give me Toast.
Give me Toast.
You know what last thing I'm going to say about Toast?
I hope so.
You know what Toast is?
What?
The Apple of point of sale. I said it. Let's go, Jimbo.
All right,
I said
Apple
it.
of point of sale. All right,
said it.
Thank you, Shatsy, for that. It's just spontaneous.
I just felt like talking about Toast.
And I love it. Listen, we are very excited. Clearly, I think you can all tell we are
Jimmy, the
excited.
air conditioner just went out. Go turn it off.
All right, I'll stay here. I think everyone can tell we are very excited about today's episode. Joining us, we have our friend, Mr. Mario Del Perro, partner of Dom Foods. We're going to have a really good time with Mario. This is a gentleman with quite the eclectic business, and we've actually coined some new phrases. I'm teasing a little bit, but we actually have coined some new phrases that I think it's going to start with Mario, and then I think we're going to run a list And we'll get to it in a little bit. But before we get started, Mara's like, do I ever get to be part of the
He's just
actual
enjoying
podcast?
listening to this stupidity.
Since we launch our podcast, we release them on Tuesdays. We're going to play our Trivia Tuesday. You all know how to play the game. I'm going to read you 3 factoids about our friend Mario. 2 are true. 1 is less than true, also known as a lie. And then later in the episode, I'm asked Shatsy to play. Guess which...
Last week was tricky as hell.
Yes, tricky. Shatsy,
you can't lie. You can't, make fake things.
No, it's not fake. You gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention. All right, here we go. 3 factoids about our friend Mario. Remember, 2 are true, 1 is false. Fact 1. Mario's first restaurant business partner is now one of the most popular restaurant lawyers in the country. First partner, now most popular.
I thought he's married to his partner.
All right, well, we'll get there. All right, fact 2.
Mario, smile if it's true.
Fact 2.
Oh, look at him.
Fact 2.
No poker face on that guy.
Fact 2. Mario's first restaurant was saved by opening his second restaurant. By the way, no matter what, true or not true, I want to hear a story about that because I love that idea. Sorry, I want to learn. And fact 3, Mario went back to school and get an associate degree in hospitality management from the CIA at Greystone. All right? Fact 1 was the first restaurant business partner, now the country's most popular restaurant attorney. Fact 2, first restaurant saved by second restaurant. Fact 3, back to school, Rodney Dangerfield style, hospitality management from CIA of Greystone. Stick around to the end. All right?
I got to tell you, that's some tricky stuff.
By the way, here's the moment where we thank Mario for his patience, and now we ask him for a little more patience.
Oh, why? Because I have to dig into how Mario became
Mario.
How do you become a partner in one of the most successful lifestyle brands in the world today? You know, from a restaurant guy. I mean, that's big. You know,
it's big.
So let's dig into it. Okay, some fun facts about Mario. Okay, 18 years old. Worked on the blood table at my family's meat processing plant.
Yes.
I mean, so this guy is in the trenches, right?
That is the trenches.
I mean, that's like, I think, lower than the fishmonger, the blood table, right? I mean, that's University of Southern California, 1995. So it was USC guy. You know, he's got to be smart. He's smart enough to go to USC. It's gorgeous there, right?
Fantastic.
I think Pepperdine would be the only place I would go other than USC.
No, I go to USC.
Oh, really? His first job was in a restaurant bar as a bouncer. And I've seen Mario, big guy, big. I could see him bouncing. You know, he got promoted, by the way, from bouncer, Jimmy, to busser. So here's another guy who started. I mean, I don't think we've had any guests that started as a bouncer. We've had bussers, but not bouncers.
Yep.
Bouncer to busser. Is that a promotion?
You know what? If he says it's a promotion,
By the way, I gotta tell you,
I'd rather bust than bounce. Far less dangerous.
Yeah, true.
He's our Patrick Swayze. He's our Roadhouse guy.
Yeah, I love it. Created his first concept 2 years after school called Skews Beyond Teriyaki. By the way, this was not college. This was elementary school. This was 6th grade. So this guy is doing some major crazy stuff. 2003, this is when things got crazy.
Yes, things get really...
Created a little company called Mendocino Farms with his wife, Ellen, now a very famous lawyer, doing some incredible work in the hospitality space, from what I understand.
You're watching for the tell.
I was trying to.
Yes.
He works closely with Chrissy Teigen as an advisor.
There you go.
All the dresses you see, everything, all the styling that you see
designed
at
by
many
Mario?
events.
Yeah.
I don't think it's designed by, but he says yes or no. He gives, he says, do I like that? Yeah, and he also works with John Legend. I made that up.
Okay.
But I think he does. Co-founder of Goop Kitchen. That's where things get really cool, you know? How did he meet Gwyneth? How did that happen? We're going to find out, right? And then, Jimmy, after all this, right? After all this, in 2020, creates DFG Ventures with 3 partners, Tony Owen, Donald Moore, and Nathan Tan. Currently have incubated 3 companies, Goop Kitchen, The Sausage Project, and The Neighborly,
We're going to talk about that, yes.
I got to tell you, this is some really, really good stuff. I'm looking for my incredible, I got to tell you, I got to redo this whole thing over here, because I can't find my intro music. All right, we're just gonna have to go with something else because I can't find my intro. So we'll have to go with this. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Chairman of the board, Mario Del Perro, CEO of Mendocino Farms, now this co-founder and CEO of Goop Kitchen, Mario. That was some intro.
We broke a record of how long it took us to bring our guest in. Welcome to the show, Mario.
How bad was that? Mario's like, why did I ever do this? Why did I ever meet Shatsy? Why did I agree to do this?
I mean, Shatsy buys you one drink at the bar at a restaurant conference and
this
really
is what
signs you up for
this
a
is
lot.
what it turns into.
So,
I gotta tell you,
really quick, guys, before you dive into any questions for me, have any of your guests ever commented that it's quite a wait? It's kind of like I'm right here. You're talking about me. I'm right here. Does that ever happen?
Yeah, I think all the time.
I think every single time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Just
we're
wanna make
trying
sure.
to cut it down. It's just we haven't figured out a way. Mary, you know what? You're going to tell us, how do we cut it down? Just go right into it? Just stop talking?
I maybe just a hello and then.
Well, the good thing is we can edit this all up.
Wait, so Mario, how much did Shatsy get right on its introduction?
I mean, very little, which I've listened to the
Seriously?
show before, so more than normal, but very little.
You went to USC, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. And your wife's name is Ellen.
You nailed those two.
Now we got those two right.
You're
And
all over it.
Goop Kitchen, you are involved in that.
Not so much anymore, but yes, I did co-found that.
Okay, so I got that right.
You're getting that.
That's all that matters. All right, Jimbo, you know.
It's more the connecting the dots.
I like it.
He gets the dots right. He just doesn't connect them so good.
Yeah, that's actually. By the way, he's
That's
listened
not me.
he's listened to you for a few minutes and he nailed you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
nailed you.
I've met Mario before. He knows. He saw right through the bullshit.
Mario.
Listen, the only other thing I would say is who would not want to sponsor with you guys? Between product placement and the rundown, like
And silly banter?
How are you not wanting to be
Hello, Pepsi.
a sponsor of this show?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's why we're gonna get Goop to
Yes.
to
that would
Goop
be good.
Kitchen.
I want to dive in, and Mary, I promise this is now we keep you in the banter,
Oh,
in the
Mario
discussion.
Now I'm part of the conversation.
Now you're part of the
Now
conversation.
you're in.
Welcome to the show. You've had quite a journey from the blood table to busting tables to co-founding one of the most beloved sandwich chains in California. And this is the first time. This is why I was so happy with you. Are the first person that we're using the busser to boardroom expression. You are an unofficial first member, and we're going to dig in further. We've had a lot of dishers to the boardroom. You're the first, but we have to find out more about this. But busser to the boardroom, that is what I love about this industry. Can you take us back to the moment you're 18, you're working at the blood table at your family's meat processing plant? What's the most unexpected skill from the early days that helped you in your business, your career?
Listen, just the real quick on working in a meat processing plant for anyone that has done it, particularly the blood table, which is the least skilled spot, which is where I was put for a number of reasons.
Can you dig into some of those reasons?
My dad is a genius. He knew that a whole summer of doing that, and my grades were going to get a lot better at USC, and they did. So if there was anything I learned was, reinforced, my work ethic, which I think I already had. But really, I became a far better student the next year. To your question, Jimmy, and I think that this is the part where I got really lucky is I went and worked for two real gurus of the restaurant business, Ron and Greg Newman. They created a restaurant group called Sharkeez. It's in kind of greater California, Southern California. And my first job was working for them, as both first a bouncer, then obviously got promoted to busser. I was very far from being a dishwasher. That was 3 more promotions.
That was only a dream for you at that point. That was just
I was nowhere close to getting near food, or at least the cooking or cleaning of it. But as a busser and getting to watch the Newmans work, I really caught the bug. I saw what students they were of the competition, creating these environments, unbelievable hospitality, differentiated product. My intent was to go to law school. And I really caught this kind of restaurant entrepreneur bug from those guys, watching them create an unbelievably successful restaurant bar in kind of a restaurant bar area. It started doing numbers that no one had ever seen. It was because they were truly students of the business. So yeah, that was this huge takeaway. It changed the direction of my life.
I got to tell you, I mean, you were going to go to law school, you said. Was your mom or your dad, were they upset that you chose restaurants over law school? I mean, it seems like every mom's dream is a doctor or a lawyer.
My dad was devastated. I mean, imagine, he's in the meat business selling to restaurants. So, he's quoting 9 out of 10 restaurants fail.
Right.
This is the worst business. Please,
how can my son do this?
Lawyers. All I do is pay for lawyers.
But they're such good payers of their bills. Aren't restaurants? Didn't your dad always tell you they were the fastest payers? Yeah. Invoice comes in, the money just shows up.
Disaster. Yeah. No, my dad he was on the other side of that.
Yeah, exactly. He had to drive around collecting money.
This is the worst business. Please don't do this. Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, it seems like it worked out well for you. But you would have been a very good lawyer, I think. Let's talk a little about your star-studded resume. I mean, you go from chopping meat in the blood table, and then you're working with Chrissy Teigen. I mean, you couldn't be Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, celebrity-backed restaurants. I mean, talk to us. How do you meet with a Gwyneth Paltrow and a Goop kitchen? How does that even come about that you even get into that? I mean, we've seen a lot of celebrity-backed brands over the years, but how does that happen?
Yeah, look, you guys are called branded. This notion of being able to leverage an existing brand is powerful, and I think that there's been a lot of people that have tried to do it in the past, and with different levels of success. But where some of the biggest misses have been, and they were, it's not like I'm that as as this interview goes on, you'll see that I'm not that smart of a guy.
You're very good looking. Pretty obvious. I got to tell you, good looking goes a long way, Mario.
Well, listen, my hat game is really good. No,
whatever it takes.
The hat game, me too.
The biggest deal was that we really saw an opportunity if we could seek out people that were authentically food credible. So with Gwyneth Paltrow, obviously she had a number of best-selling cookbooks. She had a clear point of view around food, and so that was exciting. And then similar, Chrissy has some extraordinary cookbooks, and was actually creating a brand called Cravings, and we saw a real opportunity in leveraging both those brands and very different point of views around food. So that's how that happened. And to be frank, one of my business partners was really close with GP, and we were able to have a meeting with her, and we saw that that Goop had a real opportunity to have a food division. And Gwyneth, to her credit, really heard some things that she thought were on brand for Goop, and that was
she a regular at Mendocino? Was that like, did she go there and be like, oh man, I love that?
Admittedly,
are you selling her? Or is she selling you? Because at some point, she's GP. Can I say GP? Am I allowed to quote? Can I say GP? I can't say GP.
I think you can.
I can. Yeah. No, but I mean, it's super cool. I got to tell you, I dig it, man. Because I told you before, my wife Jillian is just a big fan. So I think that's super success. But you said you're not really involved so much with Goop Kitchen anymore. What's going on there?
Yeah. So Dom Food Group, we basically are a restaurant food venture studio. So we will incubate and create these brands, and then as they continue to kind of get into their adolescence, we start building executive teams around them and let them go on off to college and hopefully to grad school. So I'm more of a preschool teacher. Yep. I'm right at the very beginning, kind of the birthing process. So,
that's kind of a kinship with us.
Yeah,
we're very similar.
Yeah.
We think our value add is in the very early and emerging, and then they graduate
stages.
from us, and these companies have other needs. So I agree with you. I used to say we're a minor league baseball team, and then someone said, try Little League. But anyway, we're still playing baseball. I want to shift gears a bit, but not before I highlight what or mention. I love that you use the word authentic when you mentioned Gwyneth and Chrissy. Because,
GP. I like to say GP.
and you can, but I'm going to say Gwyneth. Because I think when I see all these celebrity brands or I see people leveraging star status, I think without the authenticity, I think look, the guests might try it once, but at the end of the day, if there's not something authentic, and you mentioned how you were working with folks that were great students of the industry, and then clearly that rubbed off on you, and you've had success, that you understand what it takes to build and quality control, the consistency, and ultimately deliver an experience. Yeah. So I think that's what a lot of folks miss is putting so much celebrity's name on something isn't going to resonate. The guest is not going to fall for that unless they believe there is something authentic. So I just want to highlight that.
I think we've seen it in so much in the beverage world, right? They're like, oh, it's backed by, ABC, by a celebrity. Oh, that's not guaranteed success, man. Authenticity is important.
Yep.
Mario sniffs out the authenticity.
I think you make even a bigger point, Jimmy, is this notion that it can drive trial.
Yes.
The problem is that there's just no attachment if it's underwhelming, and worse is that these people or these brands, it doesn't necessarily have to be a person, have spent so much time and effort to build themselves up and could be quickly brought down by the food business, which has been a story told so often. So look, I get it. We have, we're really good operators. My business partner, ran Cheesecake Factory for a number of years and is probably the best culinary operator in
the country. Good lawyer too, right?
He's fishing.
He's a great lawyer.
Great lawyer. One of the best in the industry.
Listen, the pandemic.
I married him as well.
Hey, no judgments. It's all love is love. The pandemic accelerated ghost kitchens dramatically, and I thought we were going to rebrand that name after the debacle, kitchens, but ultimately it is expected to reach over 70 billion as a business by 27. With DFG Ventures, you guys are diving into this space and really tackling some of the biggest challenges. What is your vision for the future of the virtual kitchen? How do you see it reshaping the landscape? Because we think off-premise is continuing, we can see it growing, and therefore we can trash ghost kitchens, but the fact is virtual and off-premise is not only here to stay, but it's one of the still fastest growing segments of our market. So, how do you see it reshaping the landscape, and how are you guys looking at the future of the virtual kitchen?
Yeah, I think you can't deny the size of the infrastructure and the infrastructure that's continuing to be built. I think that the early days, the model was deeply flawed.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it was almost like the barrier to entry was less than a food truck.
It was a shipping container in a parking lot.
Right.
Hey, no judgments.
I'm not judging. It was a shipping container in a parking lot. I'm not judging.
I'm kidding. I was going to riff on them too. Did I say riff?
Yeah.
Jimbo.
That was a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
So look, the fact that the barrier of entry was so low that you had kind of more mom and pops that were coming into the space, but worse, if they had a food truck, they could at least park it outside a festival or in front of a concert. So that, they could be, with some decent real estate for people to see their brand and maybe try them. What wasn't really happening was they were going into these virtual kitchens and then having to understand words like customer acquisition cost and digital marketing. And all of a sudden, like, how do I actually hang my shingle on this virtual highway and let anyone see me? And how can I then, by the time they get to see me and drive trial, what is the acquisition cost, of that guest? And it was just, it's a pretty flawed model. So where do I see the future? It was really what we were kind of doing with Cube Kitchen was, how do we take an actual already credible mobile brand that people are already used to ordering goop on their mobile devices, and how do we give them another product, and that being food. The second thing is, how do we build kitchens for the sales that we need to do? So we're not, these are not mom and pop kitchens that are being built in these cloud kitchens. These are state of the art. Actually, I would actually say Ferrari engine level kitchens to do Ferrari engine level sales, right? So we're building these bigger kitchens. So I think that you're going to see big companies that are established brands leveraging these virtual kitchens to, whether it be Chick-fil-A, not wanting any third-party delivery drivers to come into their building because it's just getting in the way.
Right.
To Starbucks, wanting to offset, all of their third-party delivery. I think you're going to have a lot of these bigger companies figuring out how to use this already available infrastructure more effectively.
I thought, Chad,
Makes a lot of sense.
I actually thought we got it right when the pandemic and the just explosion of virtual kitchens. I remember us going to that first Ghost Kitchen conference, and there were no restaurant people there. It was like all tech, and somehow speed mattered more than actually the quality and the.
That was the big thing. It was like, I'm like the food star. Like, how fast?
How fast we get it there? We get there so fast.
And I was like, is that fast the barometer? That was the benchmark. Was fast.
Yeah.
But it was horrible.
Yeah.
But to Mario's point, the epiphany.
You know how fast I had to go to the bathroom after eating that?
Yeah. I went to the bathroom
fast I went to Yelp and trashed the. No, but I remember the quick statement was, we already know who the winners. We already know who the winners are in this space. Like, you do? How do you know? And I'm like, it's the people that are really good at running brick and mortar.
Yeah, if your food is really good, you know how to run a restaurant, you're probably going to win.
Mentioned Chick-fil-A. You know what? They know a thing or two about running a restaurant.
I think so.
It's Starbucks. Yeah,
I think they know
a thing or two. So again, off-prem is just a restaurant, but your guests are not dining in your four walls. So, but you still have to have all that integrity. I want to keep up, the balancing.
You're asking another question?
I'm going to ask another question. The balancing of the quality.
A lot of questions.
The cost, fair wages. Labor costs represent about 30% of the cost for a restaurant, and food costs hover, 28, 32. Again, therefore, there's over 50% for a restaurant. Your cost, labor, and the food costs. Inflation is pushing up the prices of the ingredients. Wages continue to go up. We get it. We want fair living wages. But I guess this is like the impossible triangle. What is your point of view on how do we solve this with we want to maintain quality. We don't want to compromise. We can't keep pushing the guests on raising prices. We can't stretch the guests to the point of breaking.
$18 Big Macs, I'm okay with that.
So, you guys want to provide high quality food. You want to be fair, reasonable prices. Yeah. You also want your staff. This is the impossible triangle. So how have you found, or what innovation or approaches are you taking to address this conundrum, the impossible triangle?
Yeah.
Ooh, conundrum.
Yeah. Hey, Shatsy, is Jimmy always so depressing?
Oh.
This just his
I get that. I'm like sitting here. He's like bringing me down right now. He wants to start talking about the wages in California, fair wages.
I mean, anyone that was considering wanting to get into restaurant ownership is pretty much already gotten off this podcast.
Oh, exactly. Like, oh my God. I was about to call Mario to do some virtual kitchens. I'm not doing it now.
It's the best industry. I was a buster too. I started underage buster. It's the best business, everybody.
You got to bring me up. I was so up when I got on this gas. You brought me down.
I just set the stage. Now watch Mario solve this for everybody. Bring him back, Mario. Bring him back up.
Back up, man. I'm so down right now.
I don't know if I own a magic wand, but what I will tell you is that labor is not going to ever go down.
Never does.
Commodity prices. That's, you could be more sophisticated in working on that, but labor is not going to ever change. I think at the end of the day, we're going to see more change in the next 10 years than we've seen in the last 20. I think that we're really going to have to see how you can make more money out of the building. And that's gross sales, but mainly. But there's also a lot of margin that can be garnered elsewhere. And what I mean in that is that I'm not a big proponent that technology is solving a lot of issues with hospitality. I'm actually very curious on how technology can enhance hospitality, but there are some real opportunities in the kitchen, and I'm not really necessarily digging into robotics at this point, but there's a ton of piece of equipment that we use in all of our brands that really are very expensive up front, but actually really help with labor and consistency and those kind of items. I think that there's a real movement to leveraging third-party purveyors and having a lot of people that have larger manufacturing end up processing some of the mise en place and some of those elements. But I think the more interesting stuff is around, things that I'm kind of challenging with this neighborly concept. Like, can you do multiple concepts in one building, right? To get more from the building. Can you blur the lines of prepared foods, grocery, in a restaurant space? And I think that there's going to be a lot of my peers really starting to shake those things up. I mean, you've seen this. You've got Chris Sims at Lazy Dog, has created, his beer club. So he has this whole other way that he makes money from Lazy Dog, doing these beer drops,
Yep.
To Cooper's Hawk with its wine program. I think that there's just a lot of really dynamic restaurateurs out there that are continuing to kind of challenge the notion or the old model of what could be done within four walls.
I love it because now you're bringing me back up again, because now we're talking about some interesting stuff. Because I got to tell you something. You think about restaurants, and then I start thinking about C-stores, the convenience stores. Like, you start thinking about grocery stores and convenience stores, and you start thinking about challenges to restaurants, and you see what's happening with 7-Eleven and Wawa and Sheetz and these. There's 150,000 convenience stores out there. I mean, Walmart is the largest grocer in the country, maybe in the world, right? I mean, and you start thinking about these guys, and what they're doing, to your point, is they're really starting to think outside the box, and really they're starting to fight for market share and wallet of the restaurant. Because now when you go to some of these convenience stores, they're upping their game on their food offerings. It's not just the garbage food of the past. It's actually better food. The grocery stores are, the prepared foods that you can go and get. So that's really an interesting part. And I think for restaurant operators, to what you were saying, is the idea of just saying, I'm going to deliver food and you're going to come and sit and eat food. It's not enough. There has to be retail play. There has to be a lot more. You got to start really thinking outside the box, where some of these C stores and some of these grocery stores are going to start, because the lines are getting blurred. How are you guys thinking about that as you look to incubate more brands and just say, look, I can have four walls and I can deliver food and come and sit, but there's got to be more to it, right?
Yeah, look, I feel very fortunate. Had an incredible mentor in John Mackey, the founder of Whole Foods, and we very early on at Mendocino Farms, we were one of the kind of, I would say, frontiersmen, because I think we actually got a lot of arrows, but we were one of the early restaurant brands to put a store inside of Whole Foods and actually operate it ourselves, and
Where was that one located?
Tustin. That was in Orange County.
Right,
that was
right.
Really big.
And did you guys crush it there? Was that did you guys do crazy numbers?
It still crushes it there. Yeah,
crushes.
It's still open. You can still go. It was so painless that we never did another one. If that helps give you some insight, but it still does.
I was going to say, did you roll that out to a lot more? You're like, no. But good idea, though. But I mean, that's what we're talking about, though, right?
It is, and then I think the other direction is you look at another mentor of mine, Tony Antucci, created an incredible brand. It is the most expensive grocery store you could ever go in, but it's called Erewhon. And if anyone has an opportunity here in California to go to an Erewhon, their prepared food section is best in class.
Yeah, no, that's like the celebrity hangout, man.
It's you cannot be price point sensitive, and that's not like
that's why it's a celebrity hangout.
They're almost a restaurant that has grocery.
I think the Kardashians hang out there.
When they can afford it.
Only if they're price sensitive.
That's right. There needs to be an extra.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Jenner. Maybe it's the Jenner sisters that hang out there.
Yeah. So anyway, look, I think that there's a real opportunity for us to continue to study these models. We've already been seeing some of these things, and from those of us that are restaurant executives, I don't think we can ignore how disruptive like a Trader Joe's has been to grocery, and what they've done to come in and basically say to traditional grocery, the Kroger's, Albertsons, Safeway, like, hey, look, if you're going to make all these rules and allow a lack of innovation, we're going to come in and clean your clock with more innovative frozen, more innovative snacks. And I think that as restaurateurs, I think there's a lot of really big lessons to take from the Trader Joe's. There's probably even more lessons that we could be taking from the Erewhons.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good point. But I think, I mean, like Walmart had a whole big run where they were, and Target and stuff, where they were bringing in the big brands, right? The Burger Kings and the McDonald's and the Starbucks. And then they kind of moved into that virtual kitchen space, right? With a couple of the big names. And then that didn't work out so well, right?
Yeah. I think that there's obviously an opportunity when you think about the amount of people that come into a Walmart or the amount of people that come into a Target, the opportunity to engage them in multiple ways, more than just their traditional, experience that they thought they would get at Walmart. So you already see they're testing Wonder in some Walmarts with Lori's connection with Walmart.
I think they
brand.
bought his company for like $10 billion.
Again. He's once again sold to Walmart for another few billion.
He's stress testing out some Wonders in some Walmarts.
He's definitely can't lose. But anyway, so listen, I think that I think someone's going to figure it out, and just like any good entrepreneur, we don't always get it right the first time, and it's us continuing to study and learn what worked and what didn't work, and some people are going to crack the code, and I'm hoping that at DFG it's something that we're spending a lot of time thinking about, and hopefully we'll be one of the first to crack the code. And if we're not, I'm fine with being the second or third.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 is good too.
I think what you guys were describing, and you talked about C-stores, let's say blurring lines. I think the lines are being blurred across the board. We have an environment where uniquely our failure rate of restaurants is going up, and a lot of legendary brands and others are failing for reasons that, again, I guess I'm the depressing guy today. But yet we're setting a high watermark of sales. So we're the highest threshold of sales our industry has ever seen at a time where the failure rate
is 50%.
Well, to me I think it's because there is a level of competition. I mean, the number of meals.
Except for Red Lobster, Jimmy. I think Red Lobster had like a shrimp special.
And that's not what caused it. That was financial engineering.
Are you sure? I read it.
I'm certain.
I read it, but it was like all the shrimp you could have.
Off the real estate
shrimp.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not as smart as guy. You can't give away free shrimp. Mario, can you give away free shrimp and make money?
They'll make it on volume. They sell below wholesale. No, my point is there are only so many meals and snacks that can be consumed in a given day.
How many snacks do you a day?
Okay, I have a lot of snacks, but my point is the competition and restaurants, as Mario was talking about, we're wonderfully diversifying, or he's wonderfully diversifying the opportunities to engage with a guest that is coming through his doors, as the C-stores are, as Target's trying to do, etc. But I want to dive into, you mentioned Neighborly.
Oh boy.
And I want to dive in further, because what I love, and then you highlighted some of the things you're doing, but in an environment, where we're decreasing the footprint of restaurants. Okay, and over the last decade, the typical restaurant has decreased its footprint over the last decade by 19%. And your concept is pushing back, because you're going with a larger footprint. And you kind of were talking a little bit about it, but can you go into further, how do you address the challenges of high rents, but you're also now engaging with your guests differently than your peers, nicer word than competition. So larger footprint and engaging with your guests differently. Can you share a little bit about that for our listeners?
Yeah, I mean,
you could say no, by the way, if you want. You don't have to answer Jimmy's question.
That's true.
Wait, Schatz, that's not what you said in the pre-talk.
Everything Jimmy says you must answer. So, Jimmy gets sad if you don't answer his questions. He does get sad.
A little bit.
So Jimmy, I think we could all agree that there's been a lot of muscles that have been built during the pandemic, and that have kind of stayed with us, if not atrophied, post-pandemic. One of which is the notion of ordering off premise, whether you have it delivered or you're picking up. We've spent a lot of time, obviously, in the virtual kitchen space, and typically virtual kitchens are more for delivery and usually are not close to where people live their lives and are not great for pickup. So kind of our alternative to that is, why not take AAA real estate where people really live their lives? And AAA real estate costs AAA costs.
Yeah,
So
that's why they call it AAA.
That's right. How do you make those buildings more efficient? And one of those is, can we do a multi-branded single kitchen concept? And there's look, there's a few
like
of
the
us
food
out
halls.
there. Yeah, but how do you do it out of a single kitchen, right?
Right.
Because labor efficiency, as Jimmy had said earlier, is the one thing that's not changing.
A
So
lot
how
of
do we
cross
actually
utilization.
how do we pay an unbelievably great wage to very talented sous chefs with state-of-the-art equipment, but actually have them do multiple different brands? Likewise, though, is how do we do even more out of that building? How do we blur the lines of a marketplace and prepared foods? And what are lessons that we could be taking from the Erewhons of the world? And we kind of created this amalgamation, and it's called Neighborly. And so we're launching the first store. The prototype is going to be this December, and we're excited.
Where's that going to be?
It's going to be in Westlake Village. Yeah,
Westlake.
it's a suburb
I love it.
on the way to Santa Barbara. Yeah, it's a great little town. So
I feel like this is breaking news. Can we break this news?
Sure.
All right, let's go, Jimmy. Let's do it.
Sure.
Jimmy,
Break the news, Shazzy.
this is a special report. Live from the Hospitality Hangout, Mario Del Perro is breaking news. Mario, what can you tell us?
I think he just told us. Neighborly, Westlake.
Yeah.
Neighborly
Thanks,
in
Jimmy.
Westlake.
Westlake Village.
Prototype Westlake Village. That is breaking
Thanks.
news coming to you live today on October. What, Jimmy?
Oh, I don't think he gave us a date.
Oh, when's it opening?
It's opening December 12th.
Number 12.
Breaking news live from the Hospitality Hangout. Neighborly in Westlake Village will be opening on December 12th. Very excited. Mario, what can you tell us?
He just told us.
Oh, I can't tell us anything else. All right. Well, listen. I just listen. I want to get. Listen. Can we jump into something? We're running late here, and Mario's got to go open more Neighborlies. All right. So we're gonna jump into hot or not. Okay. We got to take this up a notch. Jimmy's bringing me down. I'm starting to get depressed. I was so excited when I got in here. We're going into a little Mario hot or not in the food service world. Are you ready, sir?
Sure.
Okay. I will ask you a few things, and you
By the way,
say.
when my wife says sure to me, I know
That means he
not
wants to get the off this podcast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Honey, why do you go? Sure.
Subscription meal services, hot or not?
Medium.
Jimmy, make a note of that. Medium.
I did.
Viral recipe copycats. Viral recipe copycats.
Hot.
Plant-based meats.
Not.
Beef tallow skincare products. As you can see, Shatsy uses it.
Hot.
Hot. Jimbo, what do you think? What do you think?
Well, that seems like that was incredibly scripted. I mean, like there's some specificity
Oh, I love
there.
beef tallow skincare.
Yes, I know you do. Actually, while you only gave one knot, I think I'd like
You
you.
get a medium, though.
No, but you only gave one knot, but plant-based, because there's been a lot of. There was a flurry of activity.
That was the most exciting thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, but not to us.
Yeah.
But maybe here we have an expert. Here we have somebody who's in the
Southern
weeds.
California, he knows about
and
this
you know
stuff.
a thing or two.
Yeah.
So Mario, you gave that one the nod, and while we're in agreement with you, but I think your voice on this would be helpful to expand on that a little bit. And we're not throwing shade on anybody. Just
I want to talk about beef tallow personally. Okay.
Not to bash any of the brands, but I truly believe that that one brand that is really kind of recalibrated and is going to have a few products that I think are going to be hot is Beyond Meat. I think they actually are understanding that a lot of people very early on thought that this was going to be better for you. And if you really want to cross over from vegan to flexitarian, It's immensely important that if I'm going to have something,
Flexitarian? Wait a minute. What the hell is a flexitarian? Did you just make that up?
That was like your sex life in college. You were a flexitarian, Jeff.
Holy moly!
So the thing is, I think that the products need to be clean and they need to be better for you, and you need to be lower in cholesterol. If you want already someone that likes meat texture, meat flavor, to cross over and sometimes layer in a alternative meat, then it needs to be better for us. So I think Beyond Meat's probably working the hardest on that, and I believe they have a few breakthrough products, and it's going to really pick up a lot of momentum in the next year. Just at the moment, I don't think some of those items are released yet. And I think that was the miss. I think people felt a little faked out.
Yeah, the whole healthy. My kids were all into it. And then they're like, "This isn't better for you."
No,
right? It wasn't better for you. It didn't taste like a burger when you put enough
coconut oil. You have a higher. I remember we were at Mendocino Farms. We were doing a Impossible taco salad, and we went and applied the American Heart Association. We submitted it as a heart friendly.
Like this is put the logo on it.
And the American Heart Association actually got us on the phone, and they're like, "That is not heart healthy." Like,
we cannot condone this.
We cannot condone.
Yeah, I ate it a bunch of times. Obviously, I was very curious, but when you put pickles and lettuce, tomato, and like special sauce on a bun and stick anything in there, I gotta tell you, it tastes pretty good.
It wasn't the taste as much as how I learned how quickly unhealthy. Yeah. To your point, it wasn't better for you. Mario, can you also comment, because I made a crack about it. I shouldn't have. Beef tallow.
Yeah, Jim, you don't get complexion like this.
I guess I clearly could use this.
You need beef tallow.
I need beef tallow. Beef tallow, sir.
So first of all, like, I'd never heard of it. So I'm just reacting. And the fact that you guys are using whole animal, and from someone that comes from the meat industry, and that if wherever anyone wants to put any piece of that animal, as long as you're using the whole animal,
use the animal.
I need to be pro.
So by the way, I don't know what the hell it is.
I love it. I love it.
The reason why I didn't go with it is because I was like, who wants to look stupid? I can do that. I can do that hanging on my own.
Mario, the audience loves it.
I don't think you want me explaining what beef tallow is.
Okay.
I
didn't know. Yeah. All right. So Mario. Sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
Every time that you have a hot dog, think that you're having, you're probably having a little bit of that.
Is that the tuchus?
It's no, the tallow. Yeah. So look, it's whole animal.
Whole animal,
and I'm pro.
Yes,
I'm pro whole.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Mario is pro whole animal, and that's why he's a big supporter of the hot dog, because that's helping out take the whole animal out.
Yeah, you got a hoof in there. You got a snout in there. You got a tuchus in there.
Let's all about hot dogs.
I love it.
Listen, we clearly, Schatz and I like to banter, but we learned along the way that sometimes our guests may have a question for us. So let's go with talking back. You can take the microphone, Mario.
It's going to have to be a quick one because we're running out of time.
Yes, nothing's off the table. The microphone's yours, sir.
How do I get off this podcast? That's not a fair question.
No,
Come
look,
on.
what is like you know what I'm probably most curious about right now, because obviously with the advent of artificial intelligence, like, are you guys seeing the application of AI in the restaurant space? Is there anything that's exciting that you're seeing the use of AI?
Yeah, I'm just going to say yes, and it's certainly, they throw AI around a lot. Everyone's thrown AI, even when everyone's changing the URLs. Yeah, I remember when you had a startup, you used to say you were based in San Francisco. You would change your LinkedIn profile, and you would say, and your website, it's like, oh, where are you based? Oh, I'm in San Jose, or I'm in Silicon Valley. Like, you weren't really, but that's what everyone wanted to see. I think everyone's changing their URLs now to .ai.
Can we be branded .ai?
We already are, Jim.
Oh, we are? Good.
Oh, of course. I told you, we got to be on top of it, man. But I think we're seeing a lot. But I would say Jimmy loves talking about data. Is it data or data? Data? Data. Jimmy loves data. And I think that, for us, that's where I'm seeing a lot of the power of this technology or this high performance computing. We're seeing it, right, Jimmy?
I guess I would just say, look, I think the industry, and Shatzy's our restaurant guy, and you're clearly you come from the grassroots, the restaurant guy. For me, I've observed that restaurant people, hospitality people, are among the most JIT, just in time folks I've ever seen. They gotta react. They gotta respond to the guest needs. They gotta react. And where I think AI plays a role is, and keep it simple, Shatsy, KISS theory, is the AI is clearly helping with certain decision making faster, and it's proving if it's actionable. It is taking certain. I watch it in some of the kiosks. We invested in the kiosk company, and I watch how they're leggering, whether you want to call it algorithms, you want to call it leaning into the AI. But the fact that these kiosks are able to create an experience for you, Mario, that seems to be personalized and actionable based on the decisions you're already making, I find that to be very accretive. The guest is enjoying it. The operator's enjoying it. The data we're getting is incredibly valuable if you can use it. But I'm watching the upsell, and quite simply, the check average for some of these kiosk users is going up. And that to me is in part thanks to the way in which AI is helping and the algorithms are helping to make it a more seamless process and personalize it for Mario. I think personalization is a huge thing going forward. And I think AI is going to contribute to that in a mighty way.
I would love to see, Jimmy, you go into a kiosk like at a Big Chicken or something. I want to see what a personalization for you. What does it say? Add another Big Mac, add another burger. Hey, Jimmy, only 2 burgers for you? Hey, that's crazy.
What they
go
find
add
is
another burgers.
The human can only ask maybe one question. The algorithms and the AI and the computer can ask you a lot of upsell questions.
Would you like a milkshake with that? Yes. Would you like another milkshake with that? Yes. How about another milkshake? Jesus, I'm only one person. Wait, Jimmy, it's you. Yeah. Anyway, listen, I think it was a great question. I love it. I think, Jimmy, your answer was absolutely spot on and stupendous. But we're going right into one of my favorite segments. Mary, I think you'll love this because I know when you were younger, I know you told your mom, your dad, you said, I didn't feel well because you wanted to stay home from school. And really what you wanted to do was you wanted to watch The Price is Right. I know it. And you were just using that as a reason to just stay home and watch Bob Barker.
Shatsy, I was an overachiever and always went to school.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
How do you think you ended up on the blood?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I got to tell you.
Why do you think I'm here on this podcast?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Mario. Yeah. How do we get a guest like Mario? Well, let me tell you. Okay, you didn't go to school. That should be our slogan. You want to be us at a hangout? If you didn't go to school, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. All right, Mario. Since your earliest concept was around teriyaki. So we're going to go and ask you and Jimmy to go head-to-head and guess the price of Benihana Rocky's Choice Meal. Okay? The Benihana
at
Rocky's
Benihana's, the Rocky Choice Meal at Benihana's, how much does it cost?
By the way, that's the steak and shrimp, by the way. I know Rocky's Choice.
Wow.
Steak and shrimp.
I'm concerned that you actually knew. Okay, so this is a problem.
Here we go.
I'm going to say...
you want to know what's in it, or you know what's in it?
$24.
All right, Jimmy, I'm going to give you a little more detail because Mario jumped right in without even knowing what
you get a salad.
Soup.
You get a salad. You get a soup. You get the
hibachi shrimp appetizer. You get the hibachi vegetables.
Yep.
You get the hibachi steak and the chicken breast.
Yep.
All of that. 5 courses.
I need that higher.
And you could have the fried.
Wait a minute, Mario wants to re-guess that.
You could have a choice.
Because you guessed and you didn't even know what you were like, you thought it only had soup.
You also get a choice of fried rice or the noodles. You get a choice.
Okay, well, let me just tell you something.
Mario, you want to go higher, buddy.
Yeah.
You want to go higher.
This is in Short Hills, New Jersey, Mario. That's expensive real estate. That's like Beverly Hills.
I'll let Mario guess again.
I'm going to go...
No tax and tip.
$39.
$39, Short Hills, New Jersey. Very expensive. Okay. AAA real estate, by the way.
By the way, I swear I'm the head of my daughter.
Yes.
I was going to go, and I'm going to change my guess because
don't go 39.01.
By the way, I was going with 39.95. I swear, I was going 39, but I'm going to up it now because Short Hills Where's that again? That's across the river. 42.
It's a place you've never been.
42.
Jersey.
I'll go 42.95. I actually think okay, 42.95 now. I went above.
Well, you really didn't give Mario. They 39 to 42, basically. You
Thanks,
cock block Mario.
Thanks for the extra room, Jimmy. I appreciate that.
Game a little.
I am the guest.
Yes.
All right, well, listen.
Go ahead.
Mario, you were very close. Jimmy, you were closer.
Was?
$49. $49.
Wow.
All right, I was going 39. I was in Mario's camp.
So, Jimbo, you are the big winner. Let's jump right into the match game, Jimmy, because I'm excited about this.
Yes. The match game?
Yeah, don't we go right into the match game? The Trivia Tuesday.
Oh, the match. Sorry, the match. I was like, what's the match game?
Yeah, because it's matching.
Trivia
I got a match.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Okay.
Trivia Tuesday.
All right, I don't have music for Trivia Tuesday. I got match game music. I gave you 3 factoids about our friend Mario. Mario's first restaurant business partner, now the most popular restaurant attorney in the country. First restaurant saved by second restaurant. Mario went back to school, Rodney Dangerfield style, associate degree, hospitality management, CIA, Greystone. What says you, Shatsy?
I'm going to just say, based on his responses there, and I haven't really dug deep into Mario's like LinkedIn profile or anything like that, I'd say he didn't go back to school to get an associate degree. I mean, based on the comments right there, I think that his first restaurant, saved by opening his second, right? I can see that, because he probably learned a lot, and he was like, oh, we're going to change this, and then great. And I think that, based on what he said, I think his business partner, he was dropping names. I mean, he's got so many. He was dropping mentors and names and Cheesecake Factory.
Maybe his dad and partners sit like Shaq does. You want the cheese? Get 2 degrees. I don't know. Maybe.
All right. I'm saying he did not go to get some CIA from Greystone. I don't think Mario did that. This guy was blood on the table. He was in the trenches. He's like, I don't need no stinking diploma.
All right, Mario, what says you, sir?
Yeah, Shatsy nailed it.
Nailed it.
There's been no advanced degrees.
Come on, Mario's a street guy. His dad's a butcher. He's a butcher.
I got my MBA from the School of Hard Knocks.
School of Hard Knocks.
I gotta tell you love it, man. Look at the guy.
Can you tell us about the second restaurant saving the first?
Yeah, look, it's a perfect example of a concept. It was decent, solid volumes. Everything was run well. It was just I was in a shopping mall with I agreed to way too high of an occupancy, so there was just tiny margins. And
wait,
so
where was that store?
Right, everything was right. It was in Manhattan Beach.
Oh, that's just not. You're going AAA real estate on us.
That's not an expensive real estate, and I ended up getting an incredible deal in downtown LA, and the occupancy was sub 5%, and between the margins of that second store actually
helped a
lot of
what was.
And I would actually say this, for so many founders, like if you're working every day in the business, it's really hard to work on the business. And I made enough money from the second store to be able to step away, have 2 general managers, and actually improve
the business,
the delivery of the product. And
I got to tell you, man, I love what Mario just said. If you're working in the business every day, you can't work on the business. Yeah,
that's podcast gold. Hey, Joe Rogan, we got you today, man. We got you, Joe.
Yeah, that's gonna be a snippet.
Yep,
that's gonna be a snippet. I gotta tell you, that is brilliant. That is brilliant over there. All right, listen, we're running really low on time, but not. We still have enough time, Jimmy, for the greatest segment in all podcast history. Mario, I think you know because you are an avid listener. I checked the numbers. Mario is one of the of all of our 300-something podcasts, Mario's listened to almost all of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and he watches them too.
That's amazing. Your wife hasn't listened to more than like 10.
She hasn't listened to any.
Okay, there you go.
10, none, 0. You know what I mean? But no, Mario is an avid listener. As soon as I met him, I knew. Mario, I remember we met. We were like in Palm Springs. Where were we? Scottsdale. I remember where we. And he was doing a podcast across the way, and our eyes locked. And I said, I gotta meet this guy.
Was that your meet cute moment?
We did. We had a meet cute, and I gave you a hat, right?
You did.
I did. I gave him a hat. I saw him walking. I liked him. He just seemed like a nice guy, and I knew, and I gave him a hat, and I didn't know who he was, but I liked him. I liked him a lot. And I gotta tell you,
it was a full merch bag. There was a shirt as well.
And a shirt. He threw it out. But he threw it all out. He left it. It's still in the whatever hotel we were in. It's still there. It's still there. They called me and they're like, Mr. Schatzberg, did you leave a bag here of merch? Fucking Mario, that guy. Yeah, that was Mario, by the way. But listen, you took it, and that made me happy. You didn't, even if you don't wear it, you threw it out, gave it to the housekeeper. I don't know what you did with it, but that's okay by me. All right, listen, let's get into it, okay? Branded quickfire. Mario del Pero edition. Are you ready?
Sure.
What's your go-to comfort food?
Go-to comfort food. Admittedly, it's really good pizza.
Most used app on the phone.
One more time.
Most used app on your phone. What app do you use the most? Keep it clean.
A little embarrassing. Pep, P-E-P. It's just a bunch of pep talks. I highly recommend it.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah, you can have Matthew McConaughey to David Goggins. It's got quite a range.
I like that. I think Shatsy's got to get on that.
I gotta get on Pep.
I could give a little
Go
pep.
Pep.
talk.
a little pep.
P-E-P.
I love it.
Every day.
All right,
Use
listen
every
everybody.
day.
Pep.com. What's the most unusual ingredient in your fridge right now? If we open up the fridge over at Del Pero's, what do we got in there?
Yeah, we have a lot of really unique sauces, particularly Japanese.
I love it.
Asian sauces. Yeah, so
That's hot, man.
We might even have 3 different types of misos.
Yeah, I hear you, man. My whole side of the fridge.
Paste and sauces we're big. We're a saucy family.
I would agree. I would agree.
Saucy with me, Bernays.
Yeah, no. What's your Uber rating right now?
So funny you brought that up. I literally just looked.
Yeah, me
because I was
too.
having
Mine
the
went up
worst
a point.
time
What's yours?
getting it's like 483, and I can't believe that I actually know that, but it's 483, and it's got me a little annoyed. I mean, I'm like
You can't be
always
more annoyed than me
tipping
because my Uber rating just went up a notch, and I'll tell you what I am right now because I think I'm still lower than you, but I got 481.
I'm 483.
Yeah, I'm excited just to have the 4.8.
Yeah,
I
and
can't
I don't.
believe you're that high,
I
Shats.
can't imagine that I'm as harassing as you, Shatsy. In the
Yeah,
car.
you know, other people can't. Yeah, you should. Mary, I thought you'd be like a 4.9.
I think I'm taking too many calls. Like maybe I'm
You're not
interrupting
talking enough?
their music or something. I'm not engaging enough with.
The funny thing is,
I even
feel like-
ask. I'm the guy that asks permission. Can I get on a call to my driver? Which I think is
I
Are you
can't believe,
tipping?
I
Are you
can't believe,
tipping?
I can't believe there's a 0-2 between you two because Shats, I've been in a lot of Ubers with you. You're an ass.
No,
there must be a
I'm
huge.
terrible.
The algorithm must have it like 382 must be just a.
It's like the
human
what
being.
is it? The
And
earthquakes?
if you're at
Like the Richter
381, yeah, 381 is actually a D minus. I'm pretty sure that it's.
Yeah, no, you
481,
believe me. I know you, and you're much higher rated than me. That doesn't really reflect the person. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. If you were to challenge Jimmy or I, to a game of kickball, who do you have better odds of beating? Kickball, the old classic kickball. Jimmy, take off your shirt.
I had conviction about this.
Wait, I'm picking one of you to be on my team. Is that?
Well, I mean, we can go that way too. Who do you want on your team?
Wait, what?
It was who do
Am
you
I
have better odds
taking
of
one of you
beating? But I
guys
think it's
on?
better
Is
said.
that-
Who do you
is
want
that-
on your team?
Yeah, who do you want on your team? If we're playing like the schoolyard and pick 'em, and it's just me and Jimmy left, and you got all the cool kids already picked, and it's the 2 losers left, who you picking? You know, it's who you picking.
I haven't spent much time with Jimmy, and I've spent plenty of time with
You don't want
Shatsy. So I've actually seen how you move, through a restaurant, through a bar. I'm definitely taking Jimmy.
By the way, by the way,
there's a dig in there.
I have to tell you, Mary doesn't know me very well. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, Shats.
What?
I played in the kickball league.
I
And I'm not talking about
don't
like when
tell me
I'm not
when.
talking about
Like
when I was in
recently?
elementary school. I'm talking about my last company before Brandon. I had entered my company into a co-ed kickball league, and my team was kind of like annoyed because I was incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
I had jerseys made. We
Do anything to
sense
get laid,
that.
Jim. You
No,
do
I sense
anything to
that.
get laid.
So you chose
I
on
sense
that
that,
one. I have to
Jimmy.
say, I had conviction. I have been active in the kickball amateur league.
No, because you knew girls were gonna be playing, and Jimmy's like, there's a chance that I can meet somebody and get action.
He said, "I've been married for a little while, Shats."
This is a while ago, all right? This is pre-bar, but we can talk about this.
All right.
Jimmy, at your
Chose
birthday
wisely.
party, how many ex-girlfriends were there?
Why is this coming on the
How
podcast?
many are any exes? You're the only one that 10x girl with a
Mario,
birthday
I'm
party.
either a very bad breaker-upper or I'm a really good breaker-upper. I break up not for bad reasons, so I stay friends, and they came to my birthday
Who
party.
stays friends with every girl they've ever
exes.
dated?
I stay friends with the exes. I get to meet their husbands now.
That last birthday on the Upper East Side.
Yes.
I bumped into every ex he ever had.
We're still friendly. We're still friends. It's all good. It's all.
Barbara's very happy
It's all
about
about
you
love.
friendly.
All right. That's a topic for a never time.
We're
Never.
getting Barbara on the podcast.
That's a topic for a never time. Mario, we want to thank you so much for doing this.
He'll never do it again unless I can carry.
Oh, sure he will. Sure. No, we want to thank you for sharing the insights, everything you're doing for the industry, and I do really love that you guys are continuing to push the envelope and test, try. You may not be first or second or third, but you're definitely the upper edge of the kind of taking a leadership role in really trying to expand how operators, as you said, labor's only going one way. It's never going down. So we got to do more with our stores, more with our companies, and I think you're taking an awesome path and continued success. If you want to get in touch with Mario directly, you can email the podcast team.
I have a cell phone, Jimmy, if you want to give it out.
Which we're not going to give online. That was a season 1 rookie mistake.
But wouldn't that be the best way to get in touch with Mario?
How about I give you your cell phone? Podcast at brandedstrategic.com. And we'd be happy to make the introduction for you. And then
we've never gotten one email request to meet anybody. Maybe we should change it.
Really? I think we got quite a few requests.
I think the cell phone would be more efficient. I'm just telling you.
All right. Shachi, do you want me to close this out, or do you have anything else you want to say?
I have nothing else to say other than thank you, Mario. This was awesome. Appreciate everybody. This was great.
Guys, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Cheers.